I would like to thank Shailaja Madam, Prakash Garu, Ramareddy Garu, and all the management of Lendi College for inviting me here. And it is an absolute pleasure standing before you, this huge crowd of smiling faces. It's very, very nice to see so many smiling faces. When we come to the topic of Women's Day, there's one thought which always crosses my mind. I don't know whether it should be just celebrated at all. First of all, why do we celebrate it differently? Because there is some difference between us. I feel that we should reach a stage where we don't need to celebrate this Women's Day on one day in a year, but we should celebrate being a woman every day. On this occasion of Women's Day, I would like to tell you a story of an inspiring woman. This woman was an agricultural laborer. We all know how much agricultural laborers earn, isn't it? She had faced a lot of problems from her childhood itself, being one among 4 daughters to her father. Her father did not earn enough to maintain 4 daughters. So she was one of the daughters who was given away to an orphanage, telling a lie that she did not have a mother, and that's why she was given away in an orphanage. After the orphanage, she was working as a farm laborer, earning just 5 rupees a month. This is the story of many farm laborers, isn't it? This was way back in 1989. She was married off at the age of 16, became a mother of 2 children by the time she was 18. This is also the story, a pathetic story of many women in this country, isn't it? And that is where their life almost stops, just being a mother. But this lady had a lot of dreams for herself. She had seen so much of poverty around her from her childhood that she always wanted this thought that I should never be poor, should not be poor at all. So they call this Sankalpa Balam in Telugu. You have a Sankalpam that you don't want to be poor anymore, and God favors the brave. So she got an opportunity to teach farm laborers because she had been taught a little in the orphanage. She had not studied much. She had been taught a little in the orphanage, and she got an opportunity to teach farm laborers in the night in adult education programs. And she liked that program so much, she started teaching and earning more. So she could supplement her income of 5 rupees per day as a farm laborer. And as she was teaching, she realized how much of love for education she had. She then applied for a distance education program from the B.R. Ambedkar Open University to do an MA. No small thing. She wanted to do an MA directly. Unfortunately, she couldn't pass through that. But she did not lose hope. She again started reading on her own. And one chance encounter with a distant relative who was staying in the US who had come to India. She suddenly dreamt of going to the US. She wanted to go to the US. So she learned that how could she go to the US? She could go to the US by learning something which would take her there. She took a course in computer programming. She developed computer skills. This agricultural laborer, please remember that she was an orphanage. She was brought up in an orphanage, married off at 16, became a mother of 2 children at 18, and she took a course in computer skills. She did not think that her life had stopped with 2 children. Okay? She took a course in computer skills and managed to get a visa to the US. When she managed to get a visa to the US, she managed to get a person who could fund her. She went alone to the US, stayed in a Gujarati home in Texas, and she started searching for jobs. She didn't have enough money there, so she used to walk 3 miles to her office in the US and worked. She did odd jobs. She worked at gas stations as a gas attendant. She worked in offices as a clerk. And finally she landed a job in a software company as a recruiter, as a software recruiter. When she became a software recruiter, she realized her development skills were there. She was able to get people around, and she took a very bold decision to start a company there, and she became an entrepreneur there. She started a company which is today $150 million worth of company. Her name is Lendi, and she is from a small place in Varanasi. So why am I telling you this story today? There are a lot of lessons to be learned from this story. There are a lot of us in this audience who may not be having such extreme situations as Lendi had, isn't it? We might be much more fortunate in having a lot more resources than she had access to. But still she could do it. If you just read her story, if you just Google it, you'll get her story. You will see what were the small things for which she aspired for as a child. When she was teaching in the adult school for farm laborers, she had just 2 saris of 125 rupees each, it seems. Every day she had to wash one and wear one. And her dream at that time was to only have a 3rd sari. Can you believe this? A lady who has created an empire of $150 million, not rupees also, $150 million, aspired for one additional sari of 125 rupees. Okay. She could do it. Why? Because she had a passion for it. So what Shailaja madam said when she said that you should know what you want to do is very, very important, because only when you know what you want to do, you can really work towards it, isn't it? When you have a passion for something, definitely all your energies can be focused and you can go and really achieve that. So it is passion which is needed. But is Lendi's story only about passion? She also tried to have excellence, isn't it? She did not just try to do something and earn money. That was not her passion. She wanted excellence, to climb more and more, isn't it? And she put in a lot of effort for that, crossing all the hurdles which Shailaja madam spoke of. There are a lot of hurdles we face, but she could cross all those hurdles. So lesson number 2 for us, not just follow your passion, follow the path to excellence. Always excel yourself. We ourselves don't know how much we are talented. We ourselves don't know how much we can exceed ourselves. There is no limit to us. It is all here. The limit is all in our brain. If you make your brain think that there is no limit for me, there is really no limit. No biological limit, no physical limit, no gender limit, no resources limit. It is all in our brain. The 3rd lesson I want to tell from you is counter all odds. Change every odd into a challenge for you. Every challenge is an opportunity for us to excel ourselves. So welcome challenges. It is very good to have challenges, because people who overcome challenges are stronger than the people who have never faced any challenges. So welcome all odds. Don't be deterred by any odds. Welcome all hurdles, because when you cross hurdles, you become much more stronger than any other person with your same talent. So you become a special person for yourself. And the 4th thing in all this is being an entrepreneur. When I came here, madam told me, please stress on the fact that women can be entrepreneurs. And I found that women, if they really put their mind to it, can be very, very good entrepreneurs. The reason behind this is, it is their genetic makeup probably, or their personality, or the way their social upbringing is. But women will not simply take risks. They will always take calculated risks. So in this matter, they will calculate. Okay. So women generally take calculated risks. They don't simply take risks. So they don't go into a venture simply to lose money. They're very afraid of losing money. So they'll be very careful with their money. The other thing is, as the chairman of the principal, one of you said, that we are the finance ministers, we are very good finance ministers, and that's a very true thing. The way we'll bargain with the vegetable vendor also to save some rupees. That shows that we want value for money. We don't want simply to spend money. We want value for money. And because of these traits, can really become a good entrepreneur. Coming to the aspect of excelling in your career. You must have all heard the story of Arjuna and Dronacharya. And Arjuna wants to test all the Pandavas and Kauravas, and there is a bird on the tree, there is a parrot on the tree, and he asks everyone, what do you see? So some say, you see the trees, you see the leaves, you see the breeze, mountains, everything. And Arjuna says, I see the eye of the parrot. Please forget this story now. Okay? Because in today's age, just the eye of the parrot is not enough. You need to know more. So if you think that your CSE background is enough to get your job, think twice. Just focusing on that is not enough. You have to focus on a lot more things. You have to see the whole picture. So you have to just see the tree. So if you tell someone now, if you want to shoot the eye of the parrot, it is not enough if you just see the eye of the parrot. You have to see the tree, what is the size of the tree, how far away it is from you, what sort of arrow is going to reach there. So there are a lot more things you have to see now. So if a person comes to me for an interview, I have taken a lot of interview, not only in your college but for other colleges as well, and in our office also. So if we see a person who is just academically good, there are a lot of chances we may not sell. It is not just academic excellence. That is just, education is not the be all and end all. Education means, I mean the degree. The degree is not the be all and end all. Application of knowledge is necessary. So unless you are able to apply the knowledge which you have learned, you should know how to use it in real life. That is where you really become good associates for a company. So what I would look for in an interview is not just whether this person has scored say 90 out of 100 in computer sciences or 100 out of 100 in maths. That is not at all the criteria that gets you jobs. The criteria is whether they can apply the knowledge in a practical situation, whether they have the communication skills to make that happen, whether they have the innovative skills to innovate in a situation, whether they are creative enough to get a solution for a problem, whether they have the logical skills. So these are all the things I would look for. So whenever colleges ask us, do you have a cutoff percentage? We say no, we don't have a cutoff percentage. We have never told a cutoff percentage. The reason being is, it is not just academic excellence. We have found that some students who might have probably got 60% in their academics, but they have very good practical thinking. They have good communication skills. They can think logically. Maybe they are not able to put their answers on paper, but they have good learning skills. They have good attitude. So these are the people who might get selected rather than a person who has just got 90% and doesn't have any of the other skills. Okay? So this is what we need to develop. Focus on the whole thing. Now it is also possible. You not only focus on the tree, but you focus on some mountains behind that. You focus on some clouds above that. That focus may also make the actual picture lose focus. Okay? Now this is where, what is that other things I am looking at which are not related to your goal so much? What I know what I am referring to? The Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams, WhatsApp, yes, you are right. I forgot the major villain among the other. So these are some things. I am not saying that all are wrong. It's a very good way to use. There are very good ways of using them productively as well. It's not that everything is wrong. But giving too much attention to those things can definitely take your focus away from what is your goal. So if you lose your focus, it is possible that you have all these things which we need, but you may still not crack the interview because you have so many avocations that the person who's interviewing may think that you will not put enough mind into your job first. So see that you use your time judiciously. How to use your time judiciously? That is one message I want to give you. Always have a calculation in your mind of how much you can use productively and how much you can just use for your pleasure. Okay? So think that these 24 into 60 into 60, that is the number of seconds which you have, are like rupees in your hands. How would you use that money? Would you all use it on pleasure? There was a skit being played on good and bad. I like the concept very much. If you had whatever is that calculation of 24 into 60 into 60, that is the number of seconds you have in a day, into 12 also. Then let us say that it amounts to some 9,680 or something, which it comes to. This is the amount you have in your hand. Would you spend everything on pleasures? Would you spend the whole amount on pleasures? So you will try to make a balance, isn't it? You will strike a balance because you have to eat, you have to wear clothes, you need a house to live in. So you will spend some money on food, you will spend some money on your clothes, spend some money on a watch probably. Okay, but you spend the whole amount on a phone and then you have nothing to eat. That's not good work, isn't it? So it's the same thing with your time as well. Try to use your time judiciously, first for your productive things and then for anything which is for pleasure. So that would make you really realize your goal. In life, it is not just important that we study. It's not just the marks, not just the degrees which are important. Let me tell you one more story regarding this. There was a bunch of nomads. Do you know nomads? They don't have permanent houses to live in and they keep moving from one place to another. There was a bunch of nomads that was passing through a desert. And as they were passing through a desert, God appeared before the chief of the nomads. And he said that, what are your troubles? What do you want? So the chief gave a complete description of their troubles. They did not have shelter, so they had to face the heat, they had to face the cold in the desert, all these things. So God said, okay, I can understand what are your troubles. So today as you go along your way, you collect as many pebbles as you can, and tomorrow morning when you get up, you will be glad and then you will be sad. So saying, he disappeared. So the nomads were very, very disappointed. They said, when God appeared before us, we told him all our troubles. He could have given us a house. He could have given us money. He could have given us so many things. But what is this? Why did he ask us to collect pebbles? But still the chief said, okay, since God has asked us, let us do as he says, otherwise God may get angry and give more troubles to us. So why not we pick up some pebbles? And so there were some who picked up 5 pebbles, some who picked up 10 pebbles and so on. And they went on their way. The next morning when they got up, the chieftain remembered, the chief of the nomad tribe remembered God's words. Because he said, tomorrow morning you will be glad and then you will be sad. So he put his hand in his pocket and took out the pebbles. All the pebbles had turned into gold. He was immediately very happy that they had all turned into gold. The next moment he was sad, thinking there were so many pebbles I left on the way, I could have had so many more pebbles. In life, there are a lot of experiences we have. Okay? There are a lot of people whom we meet, from whom we can learn a lot. There are a lot of things which may look now not necessary to you, but you don't know when those things will be useful for you. So try to capture any information you have, try to capture or learn from any experience you have, Try to learn from any person you meet so that you don't know when it will be turned into gold. We see a lot of people who are actually not working in their line of study. Whether we say Sundar Pichai is there, okay? So Satya Nadella is there. They were not computer science engineers, isn't it? They were from different streams. But they are heading such a big software company now, isn't it? So how this could happen? It is not just by just concentrating on your studies only and saying, okay, I want to look at a job only which gives CSE in computer science skills. So try to look elsewhere. That is because they have learned from whoever they have met. They have learned from any experience they have got. They have learned from any situations they have faced. That is how they could reach that situation. We have another woman, Kirtika Reddy. How many of you have heard of Kirtika Reddy? It is very sad that none of you have heard of her. She is the CEO India for Facebook, which you use every day. Do you know this? And do you know what her age could be? Any guesses? 18? No, that is too much. Yeah, 25. She is 40 years old, but at the age of 40, she has become CEO of such a big company like Facebook. Okay? CEO of Facebook India, Kirtika Reddy. And the amount of growth she has brought in Facebook, of course, a lot of things may be having to do with the strategy of Facebook, and Facebook is lucky to have so many people like you who are patrons. But the growth of Facebook in the last 7 years is phenomenal, and a large part of that is to do with Facebook coming to India. And Kirtika Reddy has done splendid work as CEO of Facebook India. So if this is one more person you can learn from, go and search Google and try to find out how Kirtika Reddy at the age of 40 has become the CEO of Facebook. Okay? I don't want to trouble you with so much more bhashans. Let me tell you just one more short story before. Two short stories I want to tell. A lot of us, or maybe a society, feels that whenever they look at the woman, looks become a very important part of the whole thing. Okay, we always, somehow, society has conditioned us like that, probably, I don't know. But you don't describe a man as gorgeous, beautiful, isn't it? Why do we get this only when we see a woman? That is social conditioning. But I think we should move away from that now. Okay? Let me tell you a small story with regard to this. It's a real story. This was way back in the US. This is a story in the US when there was a lot of discrimination against blacks. So there was this American family, a very wealthy family, in which there was a 5-year-old girl, and that girl had a black girl for a companion. You know, okay, they used to have servants who used to be companions for their children as well. That was a time when there was so much of racism there. And this black girl was a companion of the other girl. And it was the white girl's birthday. Let me, for the purpose of simplification, mention as black and white. Otherwise, it is wrong on my part to discriminate color-wise. But just for you to understand, let me tell you about the white and black. It was this white girl's birthday. And this black girl who was a companion wanted to give her a gift out of her friendliness. She didn't realize that she was a servant of the girl. She thought she's a friend for that girl. She wanted to give her a gift. So because she didn't have any money, she has made a rag doll and given that as a gift to that girl. So when she got the rag doll, the white girl, in contempt, because she had received so many beautiful dolls, so many beautiful presents, out of contempt she just threw the doll aside. So the white girl threw the doll aside. The black girl was very, very disappointed and sad, and she started crying and walked out of the house. Her brother, who was just about her age, 1 or 2 years older than her, also walked out of the house with her. As they were walking on the road, they saw a balloon seller selling balloons. And the balloon seller, what does a balloon seller do to attract children? They will leave one balloon into the air. The child is fascinated by that. and then they try to buy it, isn't it? So they saw the balloon seller. He filled up one pink balloon and left it up. Filled up a red balloon, left it up. Then he filled up a white balloon, left it up. So these two children were watching in absolute fascination. And the girl went and asked the balloon seller, the boy went and asked the balloon seller, you can just see the racism which was present. He went and asked the balloon seller when he saw the white balloon going up. He said, if the balloon was black, would it still go up? The balloon seller was very shocked and he said, it is not what is outside which is important, but what is inside which is important. And that boy went on to become Martin Luther King. So there is a very important lesson for us to know from this. It is not what is exterior which is important even in us. It is what is interior which is important. And in an interior there is no difference. As far as the brain is concerned, I must ask the doctor if I am wrong medically. There is no difference between a male brain and a female brain. Is there? Size maybe little bit. Okay. So there is no difference between the capacities, let us say, it's the capacity of a female brain and a male brain. So let us look at what is inside and not outside. Okay? Beauty is important. Everyone likes to look nice, and it is not even wrong about the men. It's not that men don't try to look good. Men also try to look good. And nowadays I heard you have men's parlors also where eyebrows are shaved, waxing is done. So it's not that men don't want to look good. But the looking good is more like always attributed to a woman. So let us change that within ourselves first. First let us try to think differently. Looks are not important. What is within you is important. And let me just leave you with one final thought in the story. That never forget the basics of the foundations which have been laid by your parents and by your teachers. This is again to do with God, but this is a story fiction. This is not about real people. There was one man who was doing tapasya to reach God. God did not appear before him for a number of years, and finally God was so exasperated that this person was not giving up his tapasya that he appeared before him. So when he said, okay, I am so happy to see how persistent you are, so tell me what you want. So then that man said, now after so many years, I have lost interest in what I want. I only want to do one thing. I want to spread the name of God. So you give me something where I can go around the world and spread the name of God. So God gave him a wooden horse. And as you know that every vehicle will need an accelerator and a brake. So he said there are only two commands you need to remember. One is, thank God. If you say thank God, the vehicle will go ahead. And if you say, oh no, vehicle will stop. Okay? So what should he say to go ahead? What to say for stop? Okay, so this person learned those and he went along. So he went to a lot of places preaching the name of God. And in his journey, suddenly he came across the mighty Himalayas. So he was on this wooden horse and he saw the mighty Himalayas before him. And it was going at such a speed, he forgot the commands. So he was like, the Himalayas were looming large in front of him and he forgot the commands. And suddenly as he came to the hill, to the Himalayas, as he was about to dash, he suddenly said, oh no, out of sheer instinct. And the horse stopped. He opened his eyes, it had not dashed. In his relief, he said, thank God, and he went and dashed. Okay. So in life, these are some basic commands. Not to thank God and oh no, but there are a lot of basic commands which your parents must have told you. Don't disrespect your parents. Shailisha madam was telling that some people are not listening to their parents or parents are coming and complaining. So never disrespect your parents, because even though in the skit they said 50% parents seem to be bad, I don't think so. Parents always seem to have the welfare of their children at heart. So even if they are scolding you, it could be with a good purpose. So try to see that purpose. and never forget the basics. Okay? So with this message, let me leave you. Wish you a wonderful future ahead. And wish to see lots and lots of you achieving your